So if you're in a regulated industry like healthcare or financial services, you know that data lineage is really, really important. We have to be able to articulate and describe to regulatory authorities how we got the data that we're showing. If we can't do that, we've got big problems, and that's where we have way more discussion than we want to have with these regulatory agencies. That's difficult to do, to understand the source of my data, where did it come from, what keyboard was it entered on, all the way to an aggregate report that I'm sending out to a government agency. That's difficult to do in the traditional world, in the traditional data architecture, and it's even more difficult to do in the modern data architecture with the big data technologies. And we have to be able to solve that because we want to use these technologies to be able to run regulatory reporting. They are cheaper, faster, and we're able to get more insight out of them. But in order to take advantage of and use that insight to run our business, we have to be able to demonstrate lineage. So how do we do that in a big data environment? Well, it's immature is the short answer. These open source technologies are evolving, and the genesis or where these big data technologies started were in the .com space, so your Googles and your Yahoos. They didn't have the need to have data lineage the way that a financial services company or a healthcare company needs to have data lineage. So the tools and capabilities required to be able to build a data lineage solution just didn't exist until these Fortune 500 companies came in and said, hey, I want to leverage this technology. So fast forward to where we're at today is we've got to be able to figure this out if we want to be able to leverage these technologies for regulatory reporting capabilities. So in order for us to be able to deliver on solid data lineage, we really need that data governance program established within our organization. We may already have one that works in the traditional data sense, but we need to evolve that data governance program to be able to support the needs that we have within our big data environment. So in order to do that, we need to capture everything that we can about our data sets from the time that it enters into our big data environment on ingest to egress, or when it leaves our environment. And so how do we do that? There are a number of tools and technologies out there, and they don't all work together yet. So we have to do some education and some training of the data scientists and data analysts that are using our big data environment to educate them on how to capture lineage information and data quality information and metadata that we need to be able to have that holistic lineage across the organization. So this goes to collecting crowdsourced metadata as an example. That's information that we need to have. We need to have programmatic capture as we're building our data products. So if we're writing a Python code, or we're writing a data transformation in an ETL tool, how are we going to catalog and capture the connection points as we transform and move data across our cluster? So there's an education component, there's a technology component, and there is a process component to make sure that we have all of that captured holistically so that we can use this great technology that we have at our fingertips to be able to produce reporting and stand behind it and know that we have it right. So we've got to have a good data governance program, a great data governance program actually. We've got to have that in place, and it's got to go all the way from ingest to egress within our big data platform. And even if I step back and look at what happened before and what happened after I entered in and exited my big data platform, we need to look at that as well. And so there is people, process, and technology at all levels within data governance that need to be addressed to be able to feel confident about using data for regulatory reporting purposes or other critical reporting that we need to run our business.